Hi, I'm Ginger Rankin with Izzy Harriet and Company. I'm stopping by tonight to share a word with you that I received the night that the White House was shot at a few days ago. Um, I just heard him speak this word to me very clearly, and he said, "Go look up the definitions of it." And the word is simply the word platform. And we all know what a platform is, but again, he said specifically to look up the definition of that word. So I posted it on my wall that evening because I knew immediately why he had spoken it to me and the interpretation of it, if you will. And I believe that we need to be calling this forth. If you would take this, go to my wall, and if you have to write these out or go online and find it for yourself, but take each one of these lines and begin to declare them out loud. Decree and declare safety and protection over every one of these different definitions. And let me read them to you because they're so, they blew me away when I read them. So the first one is a raised level surface on which people or things can stand. And then in parentheses, as an example, it said, there are viewing platforms where visitors may gape at the chasm. Okay, so a surface on which people or things can stand. When I read that in the quotes, I immediately thought of, train stations and places like that where you can imagine after the bombing, the most recent bombing in Brussels, and somebody looking into these places, okay, and preparing such an attack. Am I not right? So the next line reads, a raised structure along the side of a railroad. And we know that railways have been bombed. So you see what I mean? You see how significant this is? It goes on to say a raised structure along the side of a railroad track where passengers get on and off trains at a station. So, wow. The minute I read that, it just struck me through. A raised structure, get this, standing in the sea from which oil or gas wells can be drilled or regulated. Oil and gas drills, those type of rigs and platforms, I wonder how many of us as intercessors think to pray for those type of platforms around the world today. Because when you think about it, well, we won't even think about it. We'll just pray over it, right? The next line is a raised structure or orbiting satellite from which rockets or missiles may be launched. Wow. Well, we know that rockets and missiles are launched a lot these days. We're thinking of Iran. We think of, all kinds of situations where that's, a work in progress. And we think of Israel, Hamas. We think of Syria. And so, pray for those. The next line reads, a standard for the hardware of a computer system determining what kinds of software it can run. Now, this was given to me immediately following that shooting at the White House. And then after that, a report came out that one of the main hospitals in the DC area, their computer system had been hacked. And they were trying to run the facility without it, and didn't sound like they had really a backup system in place, because they said that they were trying to guarantee the same quality of care, but weren't sure how they were going to provide that, being that they didn't have access to medical records, prescription meds, and so on and so forth. So, how big of a deal is this? A raised structure, a standard for the hardware of a computer system determining what kinds of software it can run. So see, every single line in this definition applies to something that we really, as intercessors today, if we would stop and think about it, we would already be praying over these every day and calling forth safety and protection. The next line is the declared policy of a political party or group seeking election on a platform of low taxes, and of course a synonym is policy, program, party line, manifesto, plan, principles, objectives, aims, or the party's platform. And of course we're fully aware, and I mean, how can we not be, because the media has covered and covered and covered and overcovered the election coming up this year. And I guess I really shouldn't say overcovered, because I believe that we are at an absolute crossroad in America right now, today, in this 2016, in this election year. So every one of these definitions is so significant. So I just wanted to come before you tonight and make an appeal that you take this and begin really, people that are intercessors, that know intercessors, that have a lot of people that you are connected with, networked with, that you can pass this along, because I really believe that our prayers, and we all know this, as if you're an experienced intercessor, prayers and intercessions, supplications are what can prevent things from happening. And so I just come to you tonight and I appeal to you, please seriously take these and take them to your prayer groups. And I'll leave it at that for now, and you can meditate on that for yourself. And I'll see you next time on Trump Treasures with Ginger Rankin. Good night. Have a good night.